Question number 6 says a gear ratio R ratio S is the ratio of the number of teeth of two connected gears. The ratio of number of revolutions per minute RPM of two gear wheels is S ratio R. So the ratio of the gear is R ratio S and the ratio of the revolution of per minute RPM ratio of the two gears is S ratio R, which is reciprocal to each other. In the diagram below, gear A is turned by a motor. Here is the gear A, which is turned by a motor. The turning of gear A causes gear B and C to turn as well. Okay. If gear A is rotated by the motor at a rate of 100 RPM, what is the number of revolutions per minute for gear C? So here the teeth of gear A is 20 and the teeth of gear B is 60 and the teeth of gear C is 10. So we need to find the RPM ratio between A and C. So gear A and B has 20 and 60 teeth respectively. Gear ratio for A and B. Gear ratio for A and B will be equal to 20 ratio 60, which was given R ratio S. So if I say R to 20 and S to 60, then the RPM ratio for the gear RPM ratio will be S ratio R, which will be reciprocal of the gear ratio for A and B. The ratio of RPM for A and B, so RPM ratio, I would rather say RPM ratio for A and B will be equal to S ratio R, which is S is equal to 60 and R is 20. So if we simplify this, the ratio will be 3 ratio 1. So gear A turns at 3 RPM and gear B turns at 1 RPM. Also gear C has 10 teeth because it has 10 teeth. Gear C has 10 teeth. So I can write it, gear C has 10 teeth. And gear C is connected with the gear B. So the ratio of gear with B and C, gear ratio of B and C, gear ratio of B and C is equal to, because B has the 60 teeth and C has 10 teeth, so we can write gear ratio of B and C is equal to 60 ratio 10. And the RPM ratio will be the reciprocal. So RPM ratio of gear B and C will be 10 ratio 60, which is equal to 1 ratio 6. It means the gear B turns at 1 RPM and gear C turns at 6 RPM. If gear A turns at 100, which was given here, if gear A is rotated by the motor at a rate of 100 RPM. So if gear A turns at 100 RPM, what is the number of revolution per minute for gear C? So we need to find the gear RPM ratio of gear A and C. So if gear A turns at 100 RPM, then gear B turns at 100 by 3 RPM. Because gear A is connected with B and the RPM ratio between gear A and B is 3 ratio 1. If A turns at 100 RPM, by using this ratio, we can find the gear B turns at 100 by 3 RPM. If we have the RPM of B, we can find the RPM of C by connecting with each other. And gear C turns at because the RPM ratio between B and C is 1:6. If we multiply the RPM ratio of B with 6, we can find the ratio of RPM ratio of C. So we are going to multiply 100 divided by 3 multiplied by 6 will be 3 2s are 6, so it will be 200 RPM. So 200 is the correct answer. 200 RPM is at option C. Question number 27 says, in the xy plane, the graph of 2x square minus 6x plus 2y square plus 2y is equal to 45 is a circle. What is the radius of the circle? So if we write the general form of the circle, which is the general form of the circle is equal to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. This is the general form of the circle. So we can compare this equation, which is also a circle, with the general form to find the radius of the circle. So in this general form, we can convert this equation in this form, because in the general form the coefficient of x square is 1, the coefficient of y square is 1. So here is the coefficient of x square is 2 and the coefficient of y square is 2. So first we need to remove the coefficient from the x square and y square. Given equation is 2x square plus 2y square. I'm going to write the values of x square and y square, then the values of x and y. Minus 6x plus 2y, and I'm going to take 45 into left side, so it will be minus 45 is equal to 0. So I can remove the coefficient of x square and y square by dividing throughout by 2. So dividing both sides by 2 to make it in as the general form. Dividing both sides by 2. So it will be x square plus y square minus 2 3s are 6, and I am not going to cancel this 6 with the 2 because later we will use it as g. So we need 2 with g and we need 2 with f to make it in the general form. So I'm going to do 6 by 2x plus 2 by 2y minus 45 by 2 is equal to 0. So now I will take out the 2 and make the value of g, and I will take out the 2 and make the value of f. So x square plus y square, 2 3s are 6 will be equal to 2 into 3s are 6 divided by 2 into x plus 2 into 1 by 2 and y minus 45 by 2 equal to 0. One more thing to compare this equation with the general form is that we have to put plus symbol here, and here we have the minus symbol. If I multiply this minus symbol within the bracket and put the plus outside, it will be equal to exactly, it will be in the general form. So x square plus y square plus 2 into minus 3 by 2x plus 2 into 1 by 2y minus 45 by 2 is equal to 0. So the general form, I'm going to give the name as equation number 1. I'm going to give this equation number 2. So now we can compare equation 1 with 2. I can find the value of g from equation 2 and value of f from equation 2. So here g is equal to, by comparing 1 and 2, g is equal to minus 3 by 2 and f is equal to 1 by 2 and c is equal to minus 45 by 2. C is equal to minus 45 by 2. Because we want to know the radius of the circle. So the formula for the radius of the circle in general form is equal to r is equal to g square plus f square minus c whole square root. So I'm just going to put the values of g, f and c here, so we'll get the radius of this equation. So g is equal to minus 3 by 2 whole square plus f is equal to 1 by 2 square and c is minus 45 by 2, so minus minus will be plus 45 by 2. So if we solve this, let me take the square inside. So minus 3 square is 9 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 45 by 2, which is equal to 100 divided by 4. Square root is equal to 10 by 2, which is equal to 5. So 5 is the radius of the circle, which is option number A. Let's move to the next question. In question number 28, says two different points on a number line are both 3 units from the point with coordinate minus 4. The solution to which of the following equations gives the coordinates of both points? So here we have the options from option A to D. So I'm going to write that the coordinates of the point at a distance, we can show the absolute form as the coordinates of the points at a distance of d units from the point with coordinate A, from the point with coordinate A, from the point with coordinate A can be represented in the absolute form, which is x minus a. The distance between x and a must be equal to positive number, which is d. What I'm saying that if we want to find the distance from a fixed point x to the a, whatever we want to find the distance will always positive, and we can present the distance in the absolute value, so always it will give us the positive value. So here is the units from the point with coordinates. So here minus 4 is representing a and 3 units is representing the distance between the 2 points. So I can say here in the question, a is equal to minus 4 and b is equal to 3 units. So let me put it into the equation star. So x minus minus 4 absolute value is equal to 3. So x minus minus plus 4 is equal to 3, which is option number A. Option A is the correct answer. Let's move to the next question. Question number 29. It says a motor powers a model car so that after starting from rest, the car travels s inches in t seconds, where s is equal to 16t square root of t. Which of the following gives the average speed of the car in inches per second over the first t seconds after it starts? Here we have the 4 options. One of the option is the correct. So the average speed can be found by dividing total distance by total time. So we want to find the average speed of the car, and we can find the speed of the average speed of the car if we divide the total distance by the total time. It means total distance divided by total time will give us the average speed of the car. So the total distance is equal to total distance is equal to 16t square root of t, and the total time it takes to cover this distance is t. Total time is equal to t. So if we put the values, the total distance divided by the total time, we will get the speed of the car in inches per second. The time is in per seconds. The distance is in inches and the time is in seconds. So speed will be the total distance divided by total time. So total distance is 16 t square root of t. The total time is t. So t will be cancelled with the t. So total distance will be 16 square root of t inches, which is option number B. Question number 30 says, the scatter plot below shows the amount of electric energy generated in millions of megawatt hours by nuclear source over a 10 years period. So in the graph, we can see the graph is electric energy generated by nuclear sources. On the x-axis, we have time in years, and on the y-axis, we have energy, million megawatt hours. Of the following equations, which best models the data in the scatter plot? So we have these four options. We want to show which of the best models the data in the scatter plot. First of all, if we see the behavior of the graph, it looks like a parabola which is opening downward. It means the quadratic equation of parabola, the coefficient of x square should be negative if the parabola is opening downward, and it should be positive if the parabola is opening upward. So here the parabola of the scatter plot is opening downward. It shows that the coefficient of x square must be negative. So in option B and option D, we have the negative coefficient of x square. So one of the options between B and C will be the correct answer. So next thing we want to know, based on the given information, the y-intercept of the function should be in between 760 to 740 if x is equal to 0. So in between 760 to 740, it will be positive number, not a negative number. So in option D, we have 745, which is in between 760 and 740. Based on the given information, given graph, the y-intercept must be in between 740 or 760. So it should be in between 740 and 760. So option D is giving us 745 because it is a positive number in between 740 and 760. It's not, y-intercept is not a negative number. So it means the option B is not a correct option because it is negative number. The positive number 745, which is in between 740 and 760. So y-intercept implies y-intercept is positive and it is 745.73. So option D is the correct option. Let's move to the next question. Question number 31. It says, a group of friends decided to divide the $800 cost of trip equally among themselves. When two of the friends decided not to go on the trip, those remaining still divided the $800 cost equally, but each friend's share of the cost increased by $20. How many friends were in the original group? So I am going to suppose that let n is the number of friends. Number of friends, let number of friends is equal to n. Number of friends n, the cost of the trip $800 and each of the friend has to pay the equal amount. So it will be equal to, if we divide 800 divided by n, we can get the amount of each person has to pay. So now what happened? Two of the friends decided not to go on the trip. It means the number of friends when two of them leave will be equal to n minus 2. So we subtract the we will subtract 2 from the total number of friends. We'll get the number of friends when 2 leave. Now each has to pay 800 divided by n minus 2. And it was given that each friend's share of the cost increased by $20. So since this share represented $20 increase in the share, since this share represents $20 increase in the share, so we will add $20 in the original amount when all of them were going. It will be equal to 800 divided by n minus 2 when the two friends have to leave and they are not going to the trip. So on the left side we can take the LCM, which is n. So 800 plus 20n is equal to 800 divided by n minus 2. If we solve this, we're going to take cross multiplication. So n minus 2 into 800 plus 20n is equal to 800n. So n into 800, 800n plus n into 20n, which is equal to 20n square, minus 2 into 800 minus 1600, minus 2 into 20 is equal to 40n is equal to 800n. So 800n and 800n will be cancelled with each other. So here we have 20n square minus 40n minus 1600 equal to 0, which is quadratic in n, and I wanna make the coefficient of n square in the simplest form. So if we divide throughout by 20, we can remove the coefficient of n square. Divide by 20 on throughout, so it will be n square minus 22s are 40 will be 2n, and 80 times 20 is equal to 1600, so it will be 80 is equal to 0. So n square minus 10n plus 8n minus 80 is equal to 0. So n will be taking common, so n minus 10 plus 8 will be common in these two terms, so n minus 10 equal to 0. So we can write down in the product form, so n minus 10 into n plus 8 equal to 0. So we will have n minus 10 equal to 0 and n plus 8 equal to 0. We have n is equal to 10 and n is equal to minus 8. So in the question we wanted to know how many friends were going to the trip. So because friends are positive integers, so that's why we are going to ignore the minus symbol. Ignore, because the people are not negative. Ignore the negative number. So it means 10 friends were going to the trip. Our next question is question number 32, which says what value of x satisfies the equation above. So we need to solve this to find the value of x. First, I'm going to write down the equation, which is 2 into 5x minus 20 minus 15 plus 8x is equal to 7. So I'm going to open the brackets. So 2 5s are 10x minus 2 20s are 40 minus into 15 minus 15 minus into plus 8 minus 8x is equal to 7. So 10x minus 8x will be 10x minus 8x will be 2x. Minus 40 minus 15 will be minus 55. 55 is equal to 7. So 2x is equal to 7 plus 55, which is equal to 62. So 2x is equal to 62 divided by 2, which is equal to 31. So x is 31. The question is, a laboratory supply company produced graduated cylinders, each with an internal radius of 2 inches and an internal height between 7.75 inches and 8 inches. What is one possible volume rounded to the nearest cubic inches of a graduated cylinder produced by this company? So here we have been given the radius is 2 and the height is from 7.75 inches to 8 inches. So this is the lowest height and this is the highest height of the cylinder. We know the volume of cylinder is equal to the area of the circular base multiply with height. So multiply with height is equal to h, multiply with height. So volume will be equal to area of the circular base is equal to pi r square and height is h. For the smallest possible value, r is equal to 2, which is already given, and the smallest height is 7.75. So we will take h is equal to 7.75 and height, which is h is equal to 7.75 in star. So v is equal to pi, r is equal to 2 square and h is equal to 7.75. And if we solve this, we're gonna get 97.39 cubic inch. And by taking round figure, we can say 97 cubic inch. So for the largest possible values, we will substitute r is equal to 2 and h is equal to 8 inch for the largest possible values in star. So v is equal to pi, r will be same 2 square and h is equal to 8. If we solve this, we are going to get 100.53 cubic inches, and by taking round figure we can say 101 cubic inches. So the possible values are from 97 cubic inches to 101 cubic inches. So I can write down here the possible values are the integers from 97 to 101 inches. Let's move to the next question. Next question is question number 34, which says, in the xy plane, the graph of y is equal to 3x square minus 14x intersects the graph of y is equal to x. So it intersects the graph when y is equal to x at the point 0, 0 and a. What is the value of a? So first of all, y is equal to 3x square minus 14x. Put y is equal to x because it says it intersects the graph y is equal to x at point 0, 0 and a. So if by putting y is equal to x, we will get the point 0, 0 and also get the any other point. So that other point will be the value of a. So if I put y is equal to x in equation 1, so instead of y, I'm gonna put y is equal to x. So x is equal to 3x square minus 14x. So 3x square minus 14x minus x is equal to 0, which is 3x square minus 15x is equal to 0. I'm going to take x as common, x. So 3x minus 15 equal to 0, which is in the product form. It means we can put x is equal to 0 and 3x minus 15 is equal to 0. Here 3x is equal to 15, so x is equal to 15 by 3, which is equal to 5. So we will get two values, that x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 5. Since y is equal to x implies two intersection points. Here we have x and y will be remain same, so it means x and y are 0 0, and here we have x is equal to 5, so y will be also equal to 5. So two intersection points are 0 0 and 5 5. So the value of a is 5, therefore a is equal to 5 as required. Let's move to the next question. It says the line with the equation 4 by 5x plus 1 by 3y is equal to 1 is graphed in the xy plane. What is the x coordinate of the x-intercept of the line? Let me write down the equation, which is 4 by 5x plus 1 by 3y is equal to 1. We can find the x-intercept by putting y is equal to 0. So put y is equal to 0 in equation 1. It will be 4 by 5x plus 1 by 3 into 0 is equal to 1. So 4 by 5x is equal to 1. X is equal to 5 by 4, which is 1.25. So that's the x-intercept when y is equal to 0. Let's move to the next question. Question 36 says, Andrew and Maria each collected 6 rocks and the masses of the rocks are shown in the table above. Here we have the table. In 2 rows, we have the masses of the rocks collected by Andrew and Maria. The mean of the masses of the rocks Maria collected is 0.1 kilogram greater than the mean of the masses of the rocks Andrew collected. What is the value of x? So here one of the information is missing. It says that the mean of the masses of the rocks Maria collected is 0.1 kilogram greater than the mean of the masses of the rocks Andrew collected. First of all, let me write down the formula for the mean. So mean is equal to total terms divided by the number of terms. Total terms divided by the number of terms. Mean for the Andrew is equal to the total terms divided by sum of the total terms divided by the number of terms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms in total. So 2.4 plus 2.5 plus 3.6 plus 3.1 plus 2.5 plus 2.7 divided by 6. If we divide the sum of these with the 6, we will get 2.6. The mean is 2.6. Maria collected 0.1 kg greater than the mean mass of rocks Andrew collected. Implies mean mass of rock Maria collected is 0.1 kilogram greater than collected is equal to 2.8, which is the mean mass of Andrew, and this is 0.1 kilogram greater than the mean mass of the Andrew. So 0.1 is equal to 2.8 plus 0.1 is equal to 2.9. We need to find the value of x. So we will take it equal to the total mean mass of these terms plus x will be equal to 2.9 and also divided by 6. I'm going to say x plus 3.1, 3.1, 2.7, 2.9. 3.1 plus 2.7 plus 2.9, 3.3 plus 2.8. 3.3 plus 2.8 divided by 6 is the mean mass of rock Maria collected. It will be equal to 2.9. So x plus the remaining amounts will be equal to 14.8, and if we multiply 2.9 with the 6, 2.9 multiplied by 6 will be equal to 17.4. So x is equal to 17.4 minus 14.8, which is equal to 2.6. So x will be equal to 2.6 as required. Let's move to the next question. So the question is, Jeremy deposited X dollars in his investment account on January 1st, 2001. The amount of the money in the account doubled each year until Jeremy had $480 in this investment account on January 1st, 2005. What is the value of X? Let the amount is equal to X, and the number of years is equal to 4, because from January 2001 to January 2005 it takes 4 years. So the number of years is equal to 4. Amount will be double for each year, and after 4 years it will be equal to 480. Amount doubles each year, and after 4 years amount will be equal to $480. We can present it into the equation that X amount will be double for 4 years and it will be equal to 480. So X 2 power 4 is equal to 16 is equal to 480. X is equal to 480 divided by 16, which will equal to 30. So actual amount will be 30. Question number 38. A school district is forming a committee to discuss plans for the construction of new high school. Of those invited to join this committee, 15% are parents of students, 45% are teachers from the current high school, 25% are school and district administrators, and the remaining 6 individuals are students. How many more teachers were invited to join the committee than school and district administration? The percentage of 6 individual students, the percentage of 6 individual students, because 6 individual students are given, so that's why we can find the percentage by subtracting these percentages from the total percentage. We can get the remaining percentage of 6 students is equal to, we have to subtract all the percentages from 100%. So 100 minus 15 minus 45 minus 25%. So it will be equal to 15%. The percentage of number of 6 individuals is 15%. Now we can find the total number of the people who are invited by using the 15% of 6 students. So let total number of people invited is equal to X. Let total number of people invited is equal to X. So when we multiply 15% with the total number of people, we will get the number of 15% of total people is 6. So from here we can find the total number, which is X. So X is equal to 6 divided by 0.15, which is equal to 40. So I can say 40 people were invited to join the committee. So now we can find the number of, because we have the total number of people, now we can find all the percentages of teachers or the district administrators. We can find all the percentages into the number. We can find the number of teachers and number of people from district administration. So number of teachers from high school is equal to, because they are 45%, so we can write the 45 0.45% of the total number will be equal to 18. So 18 teachers were invited, and number of people from school and district administration, they were 25% of the total number of people. So we can write down 0.25 multiplied by the total number of people, which will be equal to 10. So the difference of the number of teachers and the number of district administration is 8. So the difference of number of teachers and number of school and district administration is equal to 18 minus 10 is equal to 8. It means 8 more teachers were invited to join the committee than the administration staff.